Hey guys, John Loxley here, back with a new playthrough. This is a blind playthrough of the Miskatonic. So the Miskatonic is a game that I think normal price is about $6 on Steam, but I picked it up on the Steam sale for less than $1, which I think is a good price. What it is I think it's a visual novel about a occult university in a Lovecraftian society. You can kind of see some of the stuff here on the screen. You have looks like a maid character with a bunch of plates with eyeballs on them. Blurk's insurance. I think this might be Blurk, like a tentacle monster. And then a girl. I don't know what that's. She looks normal. She looks like a normal human. The reason I picked this up is mostly because of the artist. The artist, from what I understand, is a guy named Jack Cayless. If you've probably seen his work, even if you're not familiar with his name. He did the comic book, or comic books, Chimneyspeak and Redd. Redd, you can, if you've seen his work, the art style will look a little bit familiar. It's Redd is a girl. She's a super heroine, but she has no arms. She has hands, but no arms. So, like, basically from the shoulder all the way to the wrist is missing. Maybe he couldn't really draw arms, and that's how it came about. But she'll do, like, you know, holding the hands up here and then down to on the waist, and it's an interesting visual style, and it's the reason I was interested in this game. Now, this game supposedly takes about 2 hours, which, since I'll be reading everything and trying to explore as much as I can, probably means it'll take about 5 for us. But anyway, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. If this is not your first time, welcome back. So, let's get started. I don't know really anything about the game, to be honest, aside from what I told you guys and that the artist is Jack Cayless. So, let's give it a go. New game. Marie Peanut Butter. Whoa, that's a lot of text. All right. Okay, hopefully it doesn't auto scroll. That would be a real pain. Bonjour, wee childrens. I'm not going to do voices. Sorry, I'm just not. Man, my collar is still going up. Bonjour, wee childrens. My name is Marie Peanut Butter, head of occult science at the Miskatonic University. Ours is the most prestigious institution of dark magic, the occult, and all the strange ghoulies that live in your peripheral vision. But can they tell us why I have those little floaty things in my eyes? I don't think they can. Anyway, it looks like she has a hand growing out of her head. Right? Like the... wait, this hand? I don't know. It's a hand. It's a hand. It's a thumb and fingers. I'm here today to tell you a story about a little girl that ruined everything. But ruining everything gives you the opportunities to make everything better. Wee wee. What's that, you ask? You ask why I have a giant hand sticking out of my head? Well, not really. And is that the pinky? Well, that is because I am French. It is a thing we have, so no funny business, we. You'll learn about the strange things people are afflicted with throughout the story. Oh, right on. After this, you'll think my hand head is cute and adorable, as you should. But first, let me describe to you the state of the world prior to the witch girl that ruined everything. Do not fret, you probably know this already, we. So, you are aware of the giant aliens that we call gods and the cultists that worship them? No? Then let me tell you. I assume Cthulhu... Because Cthulhu is supposed to be an alien, right? There you go. Some worship Cthulhu, the giant man octopus dragon thing. His cults teach eternal patience, waiting for Cthulhu to come back to them so he can destroy the world. Rude. Also, Cthulhu saved Christmas. And then the world. At least according to Z-Boyd Productions. Some worship Yog-Sothoth. Some worship Yog-Sothoth, the outer dimensional god of knowledge. These smarty brains try to build portals to let him come here, but that would destroy the world too. Not so smarty. Most humans, like our witch girl, worship Shub-Niggurath, known as the All-Mother. Even cultists for the other gods will pray to Shub-Niggurath at the end of their spells and rituals. That is because Shub-Niggurath is the goddess of humanity. Her cults preach love and compassion among everyone. Very lovely, we. But, like our witch girl, some could be blinded by their desire for harmony. There are some that would take advantage of the naive notion that all humans are loving and good. Not so lovely. I agree. Humans are not all loving and good. Okay, so you know of gods now, we. So let's talk a small bit about the humans of the world. I can't do a French accent. I thought about trying it for a second there, but I think that would be a disaster. Some countries have been more affected than others by the strange happenings of the universe. For example, in Canada. Well, that makes sense. I mean, after all, Canada is a bunch of... I was going to insult Canada in a friendly way. I don't actually mean... I don't think I've actually met a Canadian. Maybe I have. It's been a while. Yetis. Thousands of them. Holy... Well, that makes sense. But the Canadians are well prepared. Yeti invasions are considered a national pastime. Bring the family. We'll shoot some Yetis. Can you eat them? This is what us French call an English person. Note the sharp teeth, purple blush. He's missing part of his ear. A big, ugly face. A couple decades ago, it was discovered that a huge percentage of the English nobility were actually cannibals, breeding humans in underground caves like livestock. Everyone in England went crazy when it was found out, so now they're all cannibals too. Eat the rich, I suppose. Apparently the Scottish just found it hilarious. That makes sense. This one is also my boyfriend, so no touching his ugly face, we? These little fellers are called Australians. When the Shoggoths left Antarctica, they came across a big island filled with lovely, delicious humans. But these humans didn't want to be devoured, and even when half dissolved in the Shoggoth bellies, the humans would punch and kick and smash bottles inside them, making the Shoggoths very uncomfortable. That's hilarious. So instead of trying to eat them, the Shoggoths formed this cute little symbiotic relationship with the Australians, granting them immortality in exchange for less punching, so the little Shanes and Sheilas can happily booze and barbecue away for all eternity. That sounds awesome. This is called an American. Note the silly haircut and gigantic bum. Specifically, this is the American that our story revolves around, the little witch girl that ruined everything. You know, I think we need a better look at the gigantic bum, just for science. How can you tell she's a witch? Why, there are many clues. Example, the pasty skin, a symptom of spending her days asleep and her nights dancing naked in the rain with her coven to conjure strange hexes. Also, these patterns appear to be handprints, and there's some right here and here that seem to be like cupping, shall we say? Groping might be another good word. I'm drinking a German Dunkel, a Dunkel beer. It's good, not as malty as I would like, but good nonetheless. Also, the little black choker thing. It's the closest thing to a uniform they get. That does seem to be the case. Yes. Also, she doesn't wash. I mean, I'm sure for some that's true, but that's gross. Oh, and she's looking... Charlotte Lestrange. Are you going to make me look like a dumbass in this story? Because it was only like 20% my fault. Our story begins with our smelly dumbass being briefed on the university's secret protocols after just being hired as a security guard for the occult science building. Oh, I assumed she was a student. But on her first assignment, she discovers that all is not as it seems at the prestigious school. Thanks. Nutsack. Bob. Now, Miss Lestrange, you understand that as a security agent, your off-site assignments are to be kept in the strictest confidence, even from other members of faculty, and especially the students. Let me read that again. Security agent, your off-site assignments are to be kept in the strictest confidence, even from other members of faculty, and especially the students. Okay. Also, I mean, it's a little obscured, but this dude's head is like a giant mouth with, like, teeth. Okay, so don't tell anyone what you're assigned to do off campus. Aha. Can I right-click to make this text box go away? I want to see more of the art. Yes, I can. All right, so that's a holdover from other visual novels. See, this is nice. I mean, look at this. You could have this as like your desktop wallpaper or something like that. The chair has I mean, I assume those are wood. They look like wood, but they're tentacles with suction cups and everything. Do tentacles need to have suction cups? I don't think so, not specifically. Bob, you also understand that as a security agent, you'll be in very real danger, both from physical harm and mental corruption. You understand that your body is subject to mutation at any point during your employment and residence in Arkham. Rad. And finally, you understand that, as a University of Occult Science, you are obliged to assist us with research regarding your supposed magic eyes, and failure to comply will result in your immediate dismissal. I see. So she's just being hired to help research, basically. They're using her, kind of. Sure. She has magic eyes? Well then, Miss Lestrange. Welcome to the Miskatonic University. I think this is an ear. That kind of looks like an ear. I don't know if this is an eye. There's another one up there, but... pretty cool. Awesome. She's happy. See, this is why I love the art. The art is really good. Johnny LeGrasse. And he has something, possibly a mutation around his eye. I love their outfits. Ah, you must be the new security guard, Charlotte, right? Yep, that's me. So he draws Jack Cayless. Not all of his stuff is all ages. He seems to have more of a French style where nudity is not such a big deal. I don't believe there's any nudity in this. There might be suggestive stuff, right? But I don't think there's any nudity. But apparently in his comics and stuff, that's not an issue so much. So, yeah. Just FYI, if you go searching for his stuff, you may find some boobs or whatever, right? Yep, that's me. Great, I'm Johnny, head of internal security. I'll be giving you a tour of the building you'll be patrolling. Then I'll show you to your quarters. Ready to go? Sure. Well, you'll be working here in the Occult Science building. You're a witch, right? Have you dabbled in any occult science? Well, I'm pretty good at the occult stuff, though mostly I use it for errands and favors for folks. Plus a few hexes, curses, blights, just to keep up that witchy appearance. Blood into jam, bones into sponge cake, cat into mush. No, don't hurt the cats. Phallus into tiny, screaming, vestigial face. That's not so great. Normal stuff. Well, we do things a little differently here. This way. Wow, look at that. That's cool. Big bum. Yeah, I approve of the bum. Awesome. This is the Ethereum, where our students can perform experiments on the Necronomicon. The creature acts as a shield to the outside world, keeping any experiments sterile and quarantining any unexpected summonings. It looks like it's held up by, like, pitchforks and stuff, or tridents, or whatever. Hi. Hello. We didn't know it could do that. Did you try talking to him? You are going to provide some much-needed common sense around here, Charlotte. No one tried talking to it before. That's cool. This building also houses the Corporeum, a surgical theater where our students can perform vivisections and autopsies on otherworldly creatures. But can you surgically turn people into pizzas? That's the question. That's a reference to, was it Space Station 13? One of the Seth Cinch's videos? Which looks terrible. Maybe fun if you can get into it, but terrible. Okay, vivisections. I don't remember what that is. What is a vivisection exactly? Let's look this up. Just real fast, like. I want to know the actual definition because I can't remember. It has something to do with the brain. Come on, phone. Vivisection practice of performing operations on live animals for the purpose of experimentation or scientific research, used only by people who are opposed to such work. I see. So vivisection is not a good term. It's, you know, it's like exploratory surgery or something like that, but it's not, yeah. It's like, yeah, got it. People that use the term are anti that. And to be fair, I'm for the humane treatment of animals, but sometimes, you know, you gotta test stuff. It's not like, oh, we need to stab a monkey a bunch of times to make sure this knife works. That's not how it... If that does happen, those people should be, you know, arrested. Let's put it that way. Okay. Speaking of which, this is Eddie, one of our monster hunters. Thanks to him, our Corporeum professors have been able to gather more information on living horrors than any other time in university history. There's Crazy Eddie. The trick is to figure out where its face is and then commence repeated punching. Who's the new girl? This is the, what was her name? Marie Peanut Butter? Was that it? And that's presumably another monster? This is Charlotte Lestrange, a witch from the Chesuncook Coven. Oh, so she's actually a witch. And from a coven. She'll be working security for this building. Hi. Looking after us rascals, eh? Well, just give me a clip around the back of the head if you see me slacking off and I'll get back to work. Eh, big stuff? I've been known to whip some ass with my big muscles. There you go. Come around the chop shop. You want to see me and the lads... You want to see what me and the lads wrangled up the other day? You witches like nightmares, right? Sure. Well, the fun ones, anyway. Like when your teeth fall out and you smooth them off with sandpaper to make a lovely necklace. Or when you're running down a corridor in slow motion with a bunch of hands coming out of the carpet and grabbing your ankles, and you finally stop to ask them what they want. It turns out your shoelaces were untied, and they were just super concerned for your safety. I guess that's better than molesting you. I feel like there's probably a hentai or something like that. If there's not, there should be. That seems like it could be really creative. Or when you're at school and you stand up in class but you forgot your pants and you're embarrassed, but everyone compliments your butt. Hey Jack, how about you not step on the keyboard this time around? Okay, let me make sure there's no kitties under the chair, and I'll move back. And you can get in my lap. He's here, presumably because he wants to eat. But unfortunately, the last time I was playing a game and this is Jack, by the way. He's adorable. They like to come, join me when I play games. Yeah, the last time Jack got up here and I was playing a game was towards the end of Eternal Daughter. I'd beaten like the second hardest area in the game, and before I could save, do not jump up there, please. Apparently the game had a reset button, and he stepped on it and reset my progress. About maybe half an hour's worth. Not as bad as the final boss, but I was not happy. All right, so, butt compliments, yes. Well, you're a bloody weird one, Charlotte, so you'll fit right in here. Don't let my sister catch wind of you. She won't leave you alone, you telling stories like that. Ah, and here's our curator of the Corporeum, Miss Marie Peanut Butter. She used to be a void shaman from Paris before coming to work with us. As fun as satisfying the void is, my true passion lies in discovering how things work. We? At least when they are dead. Groovy. What's a void shaman? I want to know, also. You know those dark thoughts you have sometimes for seemingly no reason? The ones that tell you to jump when at the edge of a cliff, or rob the bank when cashing a paycheck, or dropkick a grandma through a stained glass church window at a funeral? Not really. Oh yeah, I get those all the time. Well, those are not your thoughts. A few hundred years ago, the French aristocracy's way of life was so decadent and whim-filled, their unbridled sauciness only went and summoned a bloody hedonism god. Damn thing lives under the Paris catacombs, communicates telepathically with people all over the world, urging them to give in to their darkest whims. Fair enough. The French get it the worst, of course, so these shamans take it upon themselves to do the dark deeds, so the rest of France doesn't have to. Ooh, her eyes are all like creepy, weird. Must be a right giggle. That's kind of cool. They're like, oh yeah, I get to do all the weird, horrible stuff that no one else... Just to protect other people, of course. Yep, see, now they're normal. My last act as a shaman before coming here, I took my clothes off, covered myself in lemon cake and green food coloring, and terrorized a local village as a delicious swamp monster. I quite enjoyed that one. Shall we press on with the tour? Sure, bye you guys. See, this is fun. This is fun so far. Not to be rude, but judging from the bandaged-up arms and the sick eye scar and the terror lines in your hair, I'm getting the impression that security work here is, a little dangerous. I guess those are bandages. I thought those were just sleeves. And I thought it was the lighting, not necessarily like gray hairs. And I thought that was a mutation, but I could be wrong. It could be, Oh no, not for you at least. The Occult Science Building is probably the safest on campus. Sorry, what was that? There was some kind of audio. Ginny-tenic. Because if something went wrong in this building, we'd all be too dead to notice. So presumably, well, she's covered with bandages, first off. She's missing one of her arms. She's a sassy black lady. All these people have banging, like, hot bodies. They have, like, the hourglass figures and stuff. Very nice. Don't listen to her. She's just a little jealous that the new girl gets the cushy gig while she's stuck in the math department. What happens in the math department? What doesn't happen in the math department? There's nothing so cold, so unforgiving, so dark as the mathematicians. The universe is naught but an equation, they shriek, behind their burnt hair and sludge-tainted cardigans. One that can be solved. Well, I mean, they're not wrong. But how do you solve the equation of a dozen screaming children being ingested by a black, swirling chasm of teeth, and clawing hands opened at the far end of the classroom by one of their damnable equations. I don't know. But if that's the power of math, that's pretty awesome. That's awesome. Math was never more exciting than that. How you doing, Jack? I'm getting pretty hammered. I had some Irish whiskey before this. Sexton, if you're a fan of Irish whiskey, or just whiskey in general, Sexton is really good. It comes in like a little black bottle. It's shaped like a hex. It has like a skeleton wearing a top hat. About $25. It is probably the best tasting whiskey I have ever had. It's the first, like, I poured it and I sipped it. I'm like, this tastes good. It's really good. It tastes really good. So it's my recommendation. I'm not. To be fair, I'm not a connoisseur, I guess you'd call it. I afford, my average whiskey is about the $20 to $25 per bottle type. If you're in the $60 per bottle category, typically, I'm sure Sexton it's probably okay. I'm sure it's probably okay, but yeah, I'm kind of an average Joe, so yeah. Well, let's hear more about this math. Math sounds awesome. Damn you, young Henry. Carry that damn 2. So let's carry on with a tour. Next up is the library. He's got PTSD. Awesome. Each building hosts a small library dedicated to researching and documenting the subject the building's students are studying. Here, in the occult science buildings, we keep an original copy of the Necronomicon, as well as translated copies for our foreign exchange students. That's a lot of knowledge. And here's our librarian. Charlotte, meet Miss Emily Sakharin. Neat. It's like, it's kind of like No Face from Spirited Away. Hulu Blue. Hi, I love your mask. I didn't know you guys had a Shoggoth here, and a tame one, too. Oh, Emily isn't a Shoggoth. She just had a small accident with the Necronomicon a while ago, ended up like this. But our occult scientists learned an awful lot about what happens with these tomes of black knowledge when you spill your soy, no-whip, ice caramel macchiato 2 shots hazelnut on them. I never thought about that. Do cursed books? Do evil books? Like, because the Necronomicon has, like, the face on it and stuff. Does it eat? Could you ingratiate yourself with it by... I assume giving it your own blood would be bad. Could you give it the blood of someone else? What if it really likes a, caramel macchiato? I don't know, so many questions. Huh. Sure looks like a Shoggoth. Purple, gooey, moderately adorable, with a hint of terrifying. Well, that's the Necronomicon for you. It's funny, spilling a non-fat frappuccino with extra whipped cream and chocolate sauce just turns you into a puddle of loose bones and blood. Oh, so maybe it did like the coffee. Still, hasn't stopped Emily from performing her duties, eh, Emily? Fuyuju. Shall we press on? Okay, nice to meet you, Emily. Charlotte, this is Lizzie of Dunwich, our Yog Sothoth consultant. Yog Sothoth consultant. She's taught us quite a lot about the outer dimensions during her time here. Lizzie, Charlotte's the new security witch. All these guys are so creative. I mean, she kind of looks like a Jawa with a flight jacket. A little bit. Lizzie of Dunwich. Are you the sort of witch that does the naked in the rain? Or the sort of witch that does the lucky charms and the big hats? Can't you be both? The rain kind. You and me are gonna get along. Yes. Yes. She's adorable, also, right, Jack? Jack just like flicks his tail back and forth. So, like, how come I can't? What are you? I'm a Lizzie. What are you? No, I mean, why do you look like a shadow? Or like part of my eyeball has stopped working. Maybe she's covered in ultra black paint. I have cat hair in my mouth now. If you get a moment, pause the video if you haven't seen it. Look up ultra black. I think it's ultra black. It, somehow, because black is, like, color is the light that's reflected, right? So, like, the red shirt that I'm wearing, or red, orange, whatever color it is, it absorbs all colors, all light, except for this color. So black absorbs most color, which is why it looks black. But ultra black absorbs so much light, it looks like a void in space. You look at the pictures and you're like, did they digitally remove that? It looks like someone went in and just like, you know, the fill function in Microsoft Excel or Paint or whatever, or Photoshop or any of that stuff. It looks like they just went fill, black. It's weird. It is super weird. It's because humans can't see. They's already... Wait. It's because humans can't see because they's all afraidy of me and my sisters' appearances. Okay. Everything else can see me. So why doggies are all tucktails whenever I go near them. Lizzie is an example of a mental phenomenon found only in humans known as cerebral voiding. It's a trick by the brain to preserve the sanity of its carrier. When a person comes across sights too horrible to comprehend, their brain refuses to render it, instead showing a black silhouette in place of the sight itself. Essentially, instead of Lizzie's insanity-inducing true form, your brain is protecting you by showing you a shadow instead. That's cool. It's like... I was going to say like Cthulhu, but kind of not. But I saw that interviewer, no problem. The guy whose face was just teeth and gums. And the girl with the hand sticking out of her head, and Emily the librarian. Yep, Lizzie and her Dunwichian sisters are in a league of their own when it comes to horrific appearances. We sent a lot of students to the asylum trying to figure her own. Should it be figure her out? What do you think, Jack? That is awesome. Yesh. Yesh. Here's our head of catering, Mrs. Roth. She can cook anything with 3 or more legs. Yum. Hi. Oh, look at you witches, all skin and bones. You just let one of my little gremlins know it fills your tum and I'll whip it right up. Cool tattoos. Looks like a Cthulhu with a heart tattoo. Also, I noticed that her serving platter is like chained shut. And she's covered in blood. It's like a butcher's robe. And there you go. She's like a little plumper, you know. Does she actually employ gremlins? That would be awesome. Nutty Annie. What's the humanitarian dish for today? Humanitarian? Dave from accounting, my dearest. Humanitarian, like made of humans? Probably. Ooh, pork sandwiches. Lummy lum lum. We employ a small staff of cannibals from England. Eddie in the Corporium and Annie being two of them. They only eat fresh, accidental deaths with the family's consent. Eddie, which is the monster hunter, and Annie. Usually. Oh, I get it. Humanitarian. It's funny. Well, once you're done with Johnny's little tour, let me know and I'll make you breakfast. I assume it tastes like pork. Human, I mean. You're making her into breakfast? Let me have the ours portion. We'll make steak and kidney pie. Big ol' witch rump. She's got her tongue hanging out. Mrs. Roth. You ain't eating no rump steak, Annie. Your little horde's got poor old Dave. Oh, come on. At least let me have your ugly feet, eh? Nice and lean, covered in flavor, and entirely useless. Look at him all the way down there. When I'm done with him. Great. Let me get a little appetizer, eh? Little lick between the toesies. Pre-bunched snacklet. How about it? Don't encourage her, dear. She'll be crawling all over me till your feet fall off. My bad. Speaking of cannibals... I wasn't kidding about the 5-hour thing. Someone said they finished it in 2, but I take things a little slower. Plus I'm reading everything and commenting and generally rambling and stuff. I probably should have been reading that out loud. Nice stockings. Mindy in the morning. Good morning, Miskatonic. It's her favorite morning announcer, Mindy in the morning. Bringing you all the Miskatonic morning announcements as and when I see fit. It's currently 2:30 in the afternoon, so let's get started. Those of you students that have volunteered for the Submerged Necromantic Mutation testing, that has unfortunately been called off by Professor Baxter on the grounds that the school swimming pool is now alive. Lunch today will be turgid and depressing. I believe turgid means stiff. And with the owner of a white child, I was expecting vehicle. Please report to the reception office. It is currently being towed. How do you tow a child? I don't know. What was that? That's Mindy, the morning announcer. Does she do that a lot? Perpetually. You seem pretty comfortable around this stuff, Charlotte. Oh, I grew up in Maine. Not as many mutated folks, but they make up for it with all the goofy supernatural happenings. Maine, well, Stephen King. This is where Stephen King lives and where all of his books and movies are set, except for The Shining. I believe The Shining is the only one that, I believe The Shining is in Colorado? I think. Everything else happens in Maine. Like It was Derry, Maine. They're all in Maine. That's the point. Chasm. Hey, Johnny. Thirst has been looking for you. Chasm, right? Like his head's a big meteor pocked. It's a rock that's been hit by meteors. Security guard also maybe? Or not? Thanks, Chasm. Come on, Charlotte. I gotta make a quick stop off. What happened to her? That's a girl? Oh, that's Chasm, one of our portal diver team. They usually work out of Dunwich, coming back to write reports on their expeditions. That person had the same jacket as Lizzie. Yes. When they come back, of course. So, let me make a quick stop and I'll show you to your room. Cool. Dr. Thirst Valentine. Ah, Johnny. So this is the strange girl, the crumbler, the ruiner. Wow, look at this guy. I like how her coat melts into the floor. Yep, this is her. Charlotte, this is Dr. Thirst Valentine, the head of occult science and the discoverer of residual evil. His work taught the university about the lingering nature of documenting malicious entities. Essentially, he figured out why seemingly innocuous writings can summon horrific creatures or cast terrible curses. Okay. It is why the books bleed. That's cool. I had a book that kept growing teeth and screaming and whatnot. It was my diary, though. Excellent. I shall inform my colleagues of your arrival. We will merrily indulge in the popped corn. Ta-ta. I like him. You know, you've come highly recommended, Charlotte. Oh yeah? By who? Charlotte! Rumman Fletcher. I can't believe they finally hired my tiny baby monster. Rumman, what are you doing here? Got me some gainful employment, teaching kids about old school dark magic, none of this occult science in my class. She's hot. I'm not sure she's human, though. I mean, you know, this is Lovecraftian, after all. Oh, you know, I'm in security, keeping folks safe, wandering the hallways, swinging a comically large keychain, bopping folks on the head with a flashlight, top secret missions, stuff like that. Pretty on point hiring selection, if you ask me. Heh, yeah, safety. That's definitely a keyword when I think of Charlotte Lestrange and her magic eyeballs. What is going on here? Are those pockets? Anyway. Hey, those cats turned inside out on their own. I sneezed. Hush your gums. Well, speaking of cosmic abominations, I gotta go teach a bunch of 18-year-olds how to turn blood into peanut butter by dancing in the rain. You're gonna love it here, Charlotte. The Miskatonic's just one big, like-minded community, all working towards making the world a better place. Just like our coven. Okay, so she is human, potentially. She's a witch as well. Come find me when you've got some time off. There was nothing cosmic about them, Rumen. They were just cats with their bones on the outside. They got better. So you two are in some kind of cult? Sort of. We're witch cultists of Shub Niggurath. Essentially, we believe that since the universe is filled with crazy, awful bullshit, that humans should be nice and loving to each other. That makes sense. Some of us, like the Cult of the Black Sun, have these awesome bake sales for their neighborhoods, whereas others, like the Cult of Loveliness, hunt and slaughter encroaching monsters to protect their hometowns. We're sort of like goth Girl Scouts. That's awesome. What about you witches? We take all our clothes off and dance in the rain, typical witchy stuff, but we use black magic to do nice things for the townsfolk. Body-snatching breech birth babies to make them crawl out of their mom, summoning fixer pixies when a guy's leg falls off, using transmutation circles as portals for when the trash collectors want a week off. That's nice. How we doing on time? Almost have to stop. Stuff like that. Wait a minute. The Cult of the Black Sun do bake sales, and the Cult of Loveliness are monster hunters. What? Does the cult of kill, murder, death plant gardens or something? Oh, you mean the cult of fetid retribution? No, those guys deliver meals to old ladies. And what was that about magic eyes? Oh, don't worry about that. I just do this. Okay, I mean, do I click or what? The reading room will soon be closing. Is that what they said? And sometimes weird stuff happens in people's minds. Usually they forget something or get an eye twitch. Long as I don't use it on little animals, it's pretty harmless. Okay, so let's keep going. This is your room. A little tight, but the lunch ladies bring us security guys breakfast every day. I'll let you get settled, then you can explore your patrol route until Bob gives you your first assignment. Right on. It's perfect. Thanks, Johnny. Okay, I better go familiarize myself with my patrol route. Hello again. It's time for a quick tutorial, You're about to enter what's called Patrol Mode, wherein you're allowed to freely investigate the occult science building. Cool, so we probably get to save at this point. Use your mouse. Oh, hey, there's a chick upside down right there. Use your mouse to click characters to initiate conversations or doorways to move to other places in the building. Charlotte's patrol will always start here outside her room. And if you want to save the game, that's what we want. Hit the little cog in the bottom right of the screen. Give it a try. And don't forget to visit me at the Corporium, Alright, staff dormitories. Please report all breakages, spillages, corpses, interdimensional tears, and unattended viscera to a member of janitorial staff. They are appropriately trained in sanitation, body disposal, quantum physics, and mild voodoo. Where is the little cog? Is it this? Can you see that? Yes. Played dialogue. Why would I want to do that? Did it save? Don't forget to visit me at the Corporium, Alright, I guess so. Well, that's kind of cool that they're all moving. Oh, is this Crazy Annie or whatever her name is? Is she after my toes again? Okay, so we will stop here. It looks like we have a couple things to click on. I can click on myself, apparently. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if these two are together. So we have a bunch of things to click on. This might be longer than 5 hours. We shall see. If I was reading, the speed I read normally, this would probably take 15 minutes or something. Just... It would be pretty fast, unless you're reading out loud and talking every few minutes. It, I assume, goes pretty quick. But we will stop here. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying this. I love the art style, and it's unique. And that's something that I'm looking for games and playthroughs and stuff. I want unique, interesting experiences. That's kind of my big thing. If this is your first time watching my channel, I like to do at the end of every episode a positive, unique moment. Basically, what that is everything is so negative in the world, from the news, just TV, people. Everything is super negative, and what you can basically do is. What you're supposed to do is, before you go to bed, you write down 3 unique things that happened to you that day. Not unique as in, like, I won the lottery, but unique as in, this is the pretty much only time I'm going to write this down. But you're supposed to do 3. We're going to do 1. And that's just to train your brain to search for positivity, search for happiness. It's supposed to be one of the ways that makes you a happier person, a more positive person. And so what is your unique positive moment for today? It doesn't have to be anything like huge. It can be like a little thing. So for example, today I roasted some coffee. I haven't in like a year, but occasionally I roast my own coffee, and yeah, I haven't done it in a while, so it was nice to be able to do it. But that's my unique positive moment. Hopefully your guys is just as good, if not better. Hopefully better. Blah, 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 blah. Hopefully better, of course. And I hope to see you guys next time. I'm trying to yawn. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, guys, take care.